is a venomous hatred towards actresses such as Anne Hathaway.
She is so annoying.
In the early 2010s, Anne Hathaway received a slew of hate propagated by the internet.
Anne Hathaway is not a talented actress. She will win awards
Anne Hathaway
to make you believe she is, but she's actually just a slut.
Princess Diaries, Ella Enchanted, Brokeback Mountain, The Devil Wears Prada, Rachel Getting Married, The Dark Knight Rises, Les Miserables, Interstellar, The Intern. You've worked with Julie Andrews, Robert De Niro, Meryl Streep, Hugh Jackman.
Even garnering a mob of anti-fans who called themselves the Hatha-haters.
Hatha-haters are these sort of snarky people who view her as, I guess, not self-deprecating enough.
The actress had actually done nothing discernibly wrong. While her image today is in a more positive light, there was something strange about this phenomena, where a young successful starlet was turned into a social pariah. Hey guys, it's Lana. Now I get hating one person for no reason. I felt this way before too. We're all human. But how did a collective of people come to the agreement that we hate Anne Hathaway?
It's because she was too slow to get on the spaceship.
The funny thing is, she'd done nothing wrong. The hate was so bizarre back in the early 2010s that people started to write think pieces about it. So today, I wanted to investigate why this happened. Perhaps people don't like you if you're a little too perfect. Perhaps there's something in her history that can tell us the reason for this vile reaction. November 12th, 1982, in Brooklyn, New York, Anne Jacqueline Hathaway was born to Gerald and Kathleen Hathaway.
Your dad's a lawyer and your mom's an actress, is that right?
At 6 years old, her family moved to New Jersey, where Hathaway began showing an interest in performing arts.
I got my start at the Paper Mill Playhouse in New Jersey.
Here, she was able to get an agent while she did commercial auditions after school.
I got a Better Homes and Gardens commercial when I was 14.
So it's true, isn't it? You guys really are moving?
Yeah.
It was my first time on camera, and I didn't understand that they don't tell you, okay, we're shooting now, you just assume that you do. So I didn't know that we were actually making the commercial until 3 hours into shooting. And then when I was 15, I took an acting class at the Barrow Group, and that blew my mind. And around that time, I saw Kate Blanchett in Elizabeth. I just thought, I have no idea how you do that. I have no idea if I can do that, but I know that, like, that is it. That is the greatest thing I've ever seen. So I called my agent and I said, do you think I could do movies? And she said, yes, someday. She kept it real with me. She was like, you're not quite ready for that. But what about TV? She said, you're definitely not going to LA. You're too green. If something comes to New York, you can do that. And I tried out for that. And that was, I got a television series.
Oh my gosh.
Called Get Real.
I enjoy playing a character that is flawed.
Mom, someday you're gonna have to stop treating me like I'm your own personal mini-me.
Playing an older brother to Jesse Eisenberg, the show unfortunately didn't make it one season.
It's like show beyond lame.
Despite the setback, she auditioned for a little-known film called The Princess Diaries.
I had flown to Los Angeles. It was my second time in my life on an airplane.
Wow. Oh
And I land and I go through the whole audition process and they say, Annie, can you stay back? And I thought that was maybe a good sign.
Right.
And then they told me I had the part and I was so happy and my mom was there.
This is kind of like my first really enormous, huge thing, and it's a little scary, but it's really, really exciting.
You are Amelia Mignonette Thermopolis Rinaldi, Princess of Genovia.
Me? A princess? Shut up!
Instantly becoming a classic, this breakout role catapulted her into mainstream Hollywood.
I was 17 years old when we made this. This was the film that changed my life.
She auditioned and landed many similar roles such as Ella Enchanted and other family-friendly romantic comedies, becoming a teen icon to millennials.
It's kind of the first time people from school and people from home and people from kind of my job have all come together and like kind of had a parties.
Because Hathaway didn't have any major roles prior to The Princess Diaries, the industry began to typecast her.
I wanted to go to audition for this drama. Oh, that's a good part. I can't wait to be seen for that. What, they won't see me? Why won't they see me? Oh, because they don't think I can do it. Well, can't I audition for it? Oh, they don't think I'm right for it. Why don't they think I'm right for it? Because I'm the princess?
They were very clear about a path that they saw for me, and it was the sweetheart path. And that is a fantastic path. And it's beautiful, and those roles and that persona and all of that is really I marvel at people who are that. But I know myself, and I know that such as it is, I do have an edge. I knew I wouldn't be happy unless I could explore complicated, dark things.
Frustrated by this, she began trying out for more dramatic roles.
I did my audition on my lunch break from Princess Diaries 2, and we were shooting the coronation scene, so I had like the full thing. So I took the tiara off, took the ball gown off, put my flannel shirt on, and I went and I auditioned with Aang, and we just had this stunning connection. I felt that thing that you always hope for as an actor when you just feel like you're flying and you don't even feel the words and you're just kind of, you go to another place.
Doing the big scene, the phone scene in the audition, and feeling like even if I don't get that part, I'm so proud of how that went. And I got to the door and Aang said, "Can you ride a horse?" I got the part in that moment. So I lied and I said, "Yes, I do." and I left that room and I found the nearest stable I could and I learned to ride a horse.
Landing a role in the drama Brokeback Mountain was a pivotal point in her career.
Brokeback Mountain was the first time I'd been taken seriously as an actress.
And soon, many saw her past the one-dimensional characters she played for teen audiences.
You're so young and so pretty and so known for being a teen queen beauty
Teen
star.
thing.
Which I thank God I've never seen any of those movies, so I just knew you was a serious actress.
Oh, well, that's
and I couldn't put them together. I thought that can't be the same.
Hathaway was on the rise as she landed yet another movie that made a cultural impact. The Devil Wears Prada.
She's on her way. Tell everyone.
Hathaway dominated the media landscape by the late 2000s, attaining even more roles like Bride Wars, Valentine's Day, Alice in Wonderland, and Love and Other Drugs. As you just saw right there, Hathaway hadn't done anything wrong at this point, which was around 2010, 2011. The only thing she'd done was exist and be successful. But this is where the online hate started.
Anne Hathaway, she's not that innocent. What have you done?
Can you believe we're hosting the Oscars?
In 2011, James Franco and Anne Hathaway hosted the Oscars.
Can you describe our chemistry?
I love it. You know.
Me too.
As a general consensus, people thought the pair were a disaster that lacked chemistry.
It was almost unwatchable. It really struck me as some of the worst Oscars in a while.
Hathaway was energetic and peppy, while her co-host was the polar opposite. Franco looking too cool and borderline sleepy.
Anne, I must say you look so beautiful and so hip.
Oh, thank you, James.
Yeah.
You look very appealing to a younger demographic
Thank
as well.
you. Thank you very much.
So here we are, and it's Hollywood's biggest night!
And it's very exciting for both of us because we're both nominated.
Anne Hathaway, I really find incredibly annoying. I just did not get it. I just did not get the whole thing. It was too Hollywood insider-ish for me. It was pretentious. Anne Hathaway was like dying to please almost.
I had to give James a little advice on how to deal with Anne. I would say you have to find something more painful to deal with. That's why every Thursday I snap my satchel in a bear trap.
That same year, when she was announced as Catwoman, comic book fans were livid, calling her not sexy enough for the role.
I'm a little disappointed in what Chris Nolan is doing here.
Now, it's entirely possible that this reaction could have been evoked regardless of the online hate. However, it's hard to deny that this upset didn't add to the hate bandwagon. The actress started to develop a negative reputation online. She was compared to the annoying theater kid, always cheery, smiling, annoying, and incredibly performative and inauthentic.
I happened to Google Anne Hathaway, and the first thing that popped up was Anne Hathaway, the most horrible person who's ever lived.
Many were also baffled by the hate of America's sweetheart and tried to examine why this was happening. One professor of psychology even said that her face reminds us of a bad economy. Okay then. The hate was so visceral, it developed into a group of anti-fans called the Hathahaters. By 2013, when she gave her Oscar speech for winning Best Supporting Actress for Les Mis,
it came true.
The self-proclaimed Anne Hathaway anti-fans called the Hathahaters went haywire.
Poor Anne Hathaway. They don't like you. They really, really don't like you.
She kind of comes across like that overly enthusiastic theater girl
which is hard to realize if she's truly being authentic.
You think her Oscar speech is too rehearsed.
You can watch all that stuff and you know she's like sitting in front of a mirror rehearsing it going, will people like me when I do this?
I don't really like her anyway, to be honest, and to hear her voice on screen is just torturous. I thought that she probably shouldn't have won. I think definitely someone else deserved it more than she did.
And of course, there was the infamous Hatha-hater manifesto by Alexis Rhiannon on Crushable. My, what a large, beautiful mouth. I don't like it. Look at those beautiful dark eyes. I don't like them. Listen to her skinny, beautiful words. I don't like them. Shut up. Shut up, Anne Hathaway. Anne Hathaway got random hate for no reason, like the one time TMZ questioned the car she drove.
Anne Hathaway, queen of all smuggy buggies, is out driving around this car that no one else can get their hands on yet. It's a BMW i3, not even available in the US right now.
So why is it smuggy?
Because no one else can get it yet.
They're joking, obviously, but the joke kind of mirrors not an objective truth, but an emotional truth lots of people were feeling. Like, look at this clip, and it pretty much embodies why everyone hated Anne Hathaway. It's called Anne Hathaway is Annoying. It's only 9 seconds long.
Amazing cast that brought all the passion and the heart of this story to the screen. We thank you so much. Cameron.
Did you catch that? Let me play it again for you.
Amazing cast that brought all the passion and the heart of this story to the screen. We thank you so much.
That's
Cameron.
right. She's doing absolutely nothing. She's just sitting there. Yet the video has over 75,000 views. Thankfully, the comments are more recent, so everyone's being logical, but imagine being hated for just existing. Perhaps her crime is being a little too perfect. Look, I know that conclusion comes off as defensive, but there's some truth to it. We kinda hate perfect people. Or at least people we perceive as perfect.
If I do something right, it's unacknowledged. She doesn't even say thank you. But if I do something wrong, she is vicious.
I notice this a lot when scrolling through one trend on TikTok. This trend involves a host walking around on the street. He asks them to rate themselves.
What would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10?
0 being the ugliest person ever.
Yeah.
7.
And here's where the interesting part happens. Not with the video, but with how the viewer typically interacts with it. If this person rates themselves as average, viewers take no mind. If they rate themselves as a 9 or 10, commenters immediately disagree and rate them lower.
What would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10?
10.
On the flip side, if this person rates themselves on the low end, commenters immediately call them a 10.
What do you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10?
Like a 3.
How they rate themselves determines what the viewer rates them. You could argue that this is a matter of being humble versus being cocky, but I found another interesting thing that might change your mind. With this trend, when an unattractive person would call themselves a 10, people in the comments were like, yes, queen or king, that's confidence. So it's socially acceptable for unattractive people to call themselves a 10 because that's confidence. But average looking to attractive people can't because that's bragging. No one is perfect, not even celebrities, and to me, this showcases how we hate people that think they are, even if it comes from a place of confidence or self-love. Hathaway didn't explicitly call herself a 10, but on screen, she portrayed one. She's won awards, been in many major Hollywood productions, and the craziest thing of all is, she's not like the other Hollywood train wrecks. Hathaway seems happy, flawless, and I don't know, put together. Everything people strive for, but sometimes never achieve. Maybe it's a little unrelatable, but is it a crime? Coincidentally, around this time, people fell in love with another actress.
You can tell there's like this sort of feigned humility where she's pretending that she's surprised and shocked and doesn't deserve it. But you can tell like underneath there's this little, burning feeling that she's thinking, I deserve this so much.
So she smiles, wouldn't you? But it's more than that. It's beginning to be that she's not Jennifer Lawrence.
Unlike the rest of celebrity culture, Lawrence seemed more down to earth and candid, even accidentally falling when receiving her award as Best Actress. She flips off the camera, and she's not afraid to make mistakes.
Yes, you look so great today, great dress. What was the process of getting ready? How many people helped you? Very happy for you.
I'm just cross-eyed.
The two were often compared to each other around this time. people loudly stating how much they prefer Lawrence, despite both being award winners and in many major Hollywood productions. It seemed like Lawrence showing her mistakes made her more likable. I think people like to think of themselves as rational. We only dislike someone for good reasons. But there's this concept in psychology called the pratfall effect, and it shows us that we're not actually rational. And I think it's a good explanation for why people really hated Anne Hathaway and like Jennifer Lawrence. I've got some bad news for the successful or the overachievers, and this doesn't just apply to celebrities, influencers, or millionaires. I'm talking about the everyday person who people perceive as successful. The person with a good job, the straight-A student, the person who's been able to stick to healthy habits, the list goes on and on. Research has shown that group members who are the most able are not necessarily the most liked, and there's a plethora of reasons why this could be. There is a possibility that individuals who are able to achieve personal goals have unpleasant personalities altogether. Maybe the reason they're so successful is because they don't have time to be friendly. Another reason they're not necessarily liked is that this person may seem too good, unapproachable, distant, and almost non-human. To test this, researchers at the University of Texas had participants listen to a recording of a student trying out for the College Bowl quiz team. They were then asked their impressions of this person. Half listened to someone that was of superior ability. They answered 92% of questions correctly, are an honor student, yearbook editor, and a member of the track team. The other half listened to someone of average ability. They answered 30% of the questions correctly, had average grades in school, was a proofreader of the yearbook, and they tried out for track, but failed.
What a loser.
There was an additional condition to the study. A fourth of people listened to the superior person commit a blunder, and the other fourth of people listened to the average person commit a blunder. AKA, they spilled coffee on themselves while taping their recording. Researchers found that the blunder actually increased the liking of the superior person.
Can you name 5 Jennifer Lawrence movies?
5 Jennifer Lawrence movies?
I know. Who is that bitch?
You asked me about Aniston, I could tell you 10.
Right, Jennifer Aniston.
But unfortunately, decreased the liking of the average ability person. So don't do this if you suck already. This is what's known as the pratfall effect.
You are known as like one of the most relatable people out there. You actually seem like a human being.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you. Thanks.
Do you enjoy being a human being? Because human beings have a lot of frailty.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not perfect.
No. Where are you going with this?
The pratfall effect comes from a comedic term used to describe a physical comedy stunt where the person falls down in a humorous and exaggerated manner. The audience laughs, making them like the character more. This effect kind of makes me wonder if, you know, those billionaires whose wealth isn't reliant on media attention, people like Warren Buffett. I wonder if they purposely paint the image of themselves as normal, regular guy to offset the fact that maybe they're doing something shady or dark in the background. Bill Gates, for instance, dresses like a total nerd, but he was on Epstein Island. What the fuck? Now, you know me, instead of just relying on studies, I like to do some community participation and see how true this is for my viewers. So I put on my best Jennifer Lawrence / Anne Hathaway acting face and asked you on Instagram,
how do I prevent myself from becoming too perfect? I'm serious. I need your advice. I'm really serious.
If there's any truth to the pratfall effect, this should give me a slew of confusion and hate. Ew, an influencer sharing unrelatable problems. Or my viewers see right through me and know this is for a video. We'll see. Anne Hathaway's online identity became so toxic that producers became wary of her, fearing that she would contaminate their projects.
She comes off like the goody two-shoe actress. And it's just like fun to sort of hate her. And hate's a strong word, you know, but dislike her, even though she is a great actress.
I mean, I'm not an expert on, I guess they're called Hathahaters.
Right. I never heard that.
Yeah.
Hathahaters.
But I think maybe that's what triggers it.
While she did still attain roles after 2013, landing major Hollywood productions became challenging due to the Hathahaters.
But she is so stupidly sick. I'm an actor.
I mean, I guess had she maybe tripped as Jennifer Lawrence did, maybe that would have humanized her a little more. I don't know what people are expecting.
Fortunately, Hathaway credits Christopher Nolan to saving her career when public opinion turned on her. So it didn't work. Instead of hate, I got a lot of serious answers like this one that says, realizing that imperfection is a lot more interesting than perfection. The meanest ones I got were, learn the definition of perfect. It's not easy, be yourself. Not that bad. I think it didn't work because either my viewers always know that I'm up to something, or I'm more seen as a relatable figure than a top upper echelon influencer, which makes sense. I'm not going to the Met Gala. Also, it's just really out of my character to call myself perfect, so I think people were actually thinking that I needed help and maybe perhaps just wording everything wrong. I don't know. But I did want to include a few honorable mentions telling me how to not be perfect. Do 2 lines of coke, gamble, have a bad habit. Could be smoking, being unorganized, not folding laundry, etc. As usual, if you want to be part of the videos, be sure to follow me on Instagram. What does this mean for the overachievers and people that have goals? Should we purposely commit blunders so that people like us more? That doesn't seem right. That seems a little inauthentic. Hatha-haters often cite Anne Hathaway's lack of authenticity as the reason why they don't like her. Jennifer Lawrence, on the other hand, is real and endearing. However, the tables would turn on the authentic and relatable Lawrence as well. Viewers would eventually accuse her of being a tryhard.
We were filming in Hawaii. There were sacred rocks, and they were, I don't know, our ancestors, who knows. They were sacred, and you're not supposed to sit on them because you're not supposed to expose your genitalia to them.
Bless.
I, however, was in a wetsuit for this whole shoot, so
it doesn't count, right?
Oh my God, they were so good for butt itching.
It's a disrespectful story for sure, but the slightest blunders Lawrence made after this would make headlines or viral clips as well. Her reputation would become someone that was too much, as America would fall out of love with yet again another starlet. Apparently, we don't like authenticity if it's too much. Now, I hear ya, we'll never actually know if either actor is authentic or not. Can you truly be authentic if the camera is on you? I don't know. But one thing is for sure, the pratfall effect here is not pratfalling enough. So maybe it isn't the lack of authenticity people hate.
Everyone loves to build actresses and actors up and then watch them fall.
It's the soap opera of life. That's why they love celebrities.
People feel like Anne Hathaway is too perfect, like she's too
so that we must destroy her.
Perhaps at this level of celebrity stardom, people just want to see you fall.
Dad, do you know what Schadenfreude is?
No, I do not know what Schadenfreude is. Please tell me because I'm dying to know.
It's a German term for shameful joy, taking pleasure in the suffering of others.
I think being too perfect or inauthentic are just excuses for why people dislike someone. They can't find any real heinous reason to fault you, so they hate you because you're quote-unquote fake. I think the real culprit for why we hate perfect people is what the Germans call Schadenfreude, or finding joy in someone else's misery.
Look on the bright side. Think about how happy you make others when they find out just how miserable you are.
But whose misery do we find joy in? Rarely is it those who are less fortunate than us. We have a cognitive bias called the just world hypothesis. It's the tendency for people to believe that the world is fair, and that individuals get what they deserve. The famous and rich getting so much, while millennials and Gen Z can't afford a house, just doesn't fit in with the just world hypothesis. So when a celebrity faces backlash, their misfortune acts like a kind of cosmic justice for some people. Even though at the end of the day, for some of them, they've never really done anything wrong. Yes, you guys, this is why I'm not that famous on social media. Too scared, Too scared of the downfall. Getting a Lambo, mansion, fans loving you for your art. Just, isn't worth the downfall. Yep, the only reason why I'm not famous. No, see, but even that joke right there, I can make that joke because you know that I am not famous. If an actual famous person were to say that, like The Rock, everyone would be like, excuse me? Anyway, that's the end of the video. I will see you guys next time. Stay psyched.